Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to W. Michael Ross 66 Stadium. We are here on the Cadet Student Network getting set to bring you some MCC soccer. It is a beautiful evening, and what better way to spend a nice fall evening than watching MCC soccer here on the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald. I'll be bringing you the game, and alongside me, Coach Bill Baumhoff. Nice to have you, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me have some time here.
And Bill, of course, got to mention, CBC class of 91, so fellow alum. State champion 1988, played at South Carolina, and currently coaching with the freshmen here at CBC.
That is correct. I've been coaching here for Coach Mickler for a number of years. Probably going on our 15th year here coaching the freshman team. So it's a pleasure to work with him and with our great program that we have at our school.
And speaking of great things that have to do with soccer, should be a great game. We'll get you set a little bit for what to expect. We'll give you a little bit of analysis coming in. Of course, SLUH coming off the CYC Tournament Championship over CBC on Saturday night at Soccer Park. And that was a 1-0 game, very disappointing result for CBC. A lot of balls cleared off the line, some good saves by Alex Meissner of SLUH. So it'll be very interesting to see how CBC rebounds after such a difficult loss. And as we get set, the public address announcer, Matt DeGrief, is going to be doing the starting lineups, prayer, and leading into the national anthem. And we won't necessarily be able to pick that up just because of where we are, but I will be able to give you the starting lineups, and then we were going to take a break during the prayer and national anthem. So the two teams tonight coming in with a record for CBC of 9-2-2, and for SLUH a record of 12-3-2. Your thoughts on the season so far for CBC, Coach?
Well, so far, not too bad. It was obviously disappointing for them with losing the tournament, but most definitely look forward to them coming out fast and quick today.
And we are getting set for the starting lineups here. As always, of course, being the good host, CBC will be wearing white. SLUH will be wearing the dark blue. And the starting lineup will be first for the St. Louis U Junior Bills. In goal, we're going to start numerically here. So number 2, Donovan Ditto. Number 3, Kurt Schumacher. Number 4, Pietro Nicastro. Number 5, Alex Lehman. Number 8, Brandon Trussler. Number 14, Ray Gedeker. Number 16, Billy Hughes. Number 18, Cameron Verzino. Number 20, Joey Kraus. Number 24, Jeff Walter. And in goal, number 33, Alec Meissner. Again, mentioned great game he had on Saturday night. He'll look to repeat that. And, of course, the Junior Bills coached by Coach Charlie Martell, as they have been for so long. And on the other side for CBC, Mike Camp getting the starting goal tonight for the Cadets over Cam Meyer. We'll talk a little bit about that. Certainly a major talking point here. Number 2, Ryan Gertison. Number 4, Jack Edwards. Number 5, Connor Lanero. Number 6, Captain Brendan Hennessy. Number 7, Bryce Starzik. Number 9, EJ Verhulst. An excitement, I'm getting ahead of him here. Number 10, also a captain, Sam Leach. Number 11, Nick Dempster. Number 12, Tyler McAllister. And rounding it out, number 15, Nolan DeWeese. And, of course, the Cadets coached by Coach Terry Mickler. So should be a fun game. We're going to take a quick break during prayer and national anthem, so we're not talking through them. When we come back, we will have Cadet soccer action here for you on the Cadet Student Network.
Let me help you protect what matters most and prepare for your retirement. I want to help everyone in the CBC family save money and stay protected. I've been in the business for 25 years. My team and I are ready to help you protect your family and save money. You can contact me at 314-842-4442. My email address is tim@timkylo.com, or my website is timkylo.com. Enjoy the rest of the game. Let me help you protect what matters most and prepare for your retirement. I want to help everyone in the CBC family save money and stay protected. I've been in the business for 25 years. My team and I are ready to help you protect your family and save money. You can contact me at 314-842-4442. My email address is tim@timkylo.com, or my website is timkylo.com. Enjoy the rest of the game. Let me help you protect what matters most and prepare for your retirement. I want to help everyone in the CBC family save money and stay protected. I've been in the business for 25 years. My team and I are ready to help you protect your family and save money. You can contact me at 314-842-4442. My email address is tim@timkylo.com, or my website is timkylo.com. Enjoy the rest of the game. Let me help you protect what matters most and prepare for your retirement. I want to help everyone in the CBC family save money and stay protected. I've been in the business for 25 years. My team and I are ready to help you protect your family and save money.
And we're back in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth here on CSN. Tom Eichwald alongside Bill Baumhoff. And, Coach, you've been in this situation before, coming back against a team that just beat you, especially in a very, very frustrating loss, a game you probably should have won. What's it like taking the field in a game like this?
Well, it's two different things. For the players, it's, man, I want to get back out there. At least that's what the coaches hope, is the players want to get back out there. They want to prove the game should have been won on Saturday. They want to come out and take it to SLUH. From the coach's standpoint, they want to try to control some of that emotion, but also release it as well. Make sure that the players come out. Start quick. It's going to be very important for CBC to start quick today. They want to take it to SLUH, put them on the ropes, get the ball under control in the offensive third of the field, and put away some of their chances. Some of the frustrating thing for this team this year has been not scoring enough on their opportunities.
And this, of course, is also the rubber match between these two. The series split 1-1. CBC beat SLUH in the CBC tournament. SLUH beat CBC in the CYC tournament. And if that's not enough acronyms for you, we have SLUH CBC on CSN to decide what could be important in the MCC.
Absolutely. And, of course, this is SLUH. Come on.
All
the alumni out there know that this is important.
And here we have Jack Edwards on the ball. And we did mention in the starting lineups Mike Camp getting the start tonight. Quick comment on that. Cam Meyer didn't have a bad game against SLUH necessarily. The goal that went in off of a free kick. Maybe some questions could be asked of the wall placement. But either way, you want two sharp keepers and you want competition in there. Cam Meyer and Mike Camp, both very, very capable goalkeepers. You want to keep them sharp and you want to make sure there's some competition. So for Mike Camp, he's got to see this as a great opportunity to prove himself tonight. And this one's cleared only as far as Cam Meyer, but quickly won back by SLUH, being played into the path of Ray Gedeker. And Gedeker hurdles the tackle of, that's Connor Lanero over there. And Gedeker back for Hughes. Hughes with the right, trying to get end line. And he does. He's going to get a cross in, but right in the hands of Mike Camp. Comfortable claim, and just like that, CBC will look to build through Nolan DeWeese. And you mentioned the fast start, Bill. You and I were talking about that a little bit before the game, and just to give our viewers and our listeners just a little bit of a sense of that, talking about the need to go out and dictate what sort of game it's going to be. At times, CBC over the last couple of years has shown a tendency to kind of let a game develop before seeing, okay, what's our approach going to be to this? You know, some players that, maybe come out and say, all right, let's just be comfortable, make sure we don't make too many early mistakes, settle into the game before we really start playing our best. CBC tends to play their best a lot of times either after conceding, at the start of the second half, I find, and also at the very end of games. But I think it's going to be important. If this team is going to live up to the potential, they have to start learning how to play that first 30 minutes.
Yes, that's very important, because especially the fact that so many games are won and lost in the beginning and end of games. So if you start the first 5 minutes kind of slow, kind of figuring out your opponent can take it to you. And we should be the team taking it to the opposition. So that's something that I know I look for as a coach, and I know that's something that Coach Mickler wants out of his group.
And here's Ryan Gertison. That one is blocked. It is out off of a junior Billiken, so it will be a CBC throw. We mentioned CBC in the white with every commentator's dreaded yellow numbers on the white jersey. Not too bad yet. As it gets darker and those guys on the far side of the field start to get a little dimmer, it gets interesting.
Can already tell that'll be a challenge for us tonight.
And I try to say as often as possible the numbers were supposed to be purple. They came in the wrong color. But when you need a jersey, you need a jersey. And here we are. Here's Leach. Leach looking to find Bryce Starzyk. Wonderful ball for Starzyk. Can't quite get there. But for a wonderful tackle there from Pietro Nicastro. Initially, I thought the pass might have been maybe a little bit too direct, but I was wrong. It's a very, very good ball early from Sam Leach.
It was good pace, and Starzyk's got good pace on the side, too.
Here's a goal kick from Meissner. We mentioned a number of balls cleared off the line, some fantastic goalkeeping from Alec Meissner. His center backs had his back. There was at least a header off the line, probably, if memory serves, about 2 or 3 of them, actually. So certainly a lot of confidence in Alec Meissner. He's going to look to keep that going tonight. And so CBC, of course, what do you do to a confident goalkeeper? You pepper him.
Pepper him. Lots of shots on goal today.
And if that means you hit one from 30 early in the game, you hit one from 30 early in the game. And this one's headed out. Still bouncing around, a little bit of head tennis going on there. Finally brought down by the SLUH midfield, played direct over the top. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for Nolan Deweese. And he deals with it comfortably. Ray Geddeker was challenging. Here's Starzyk now. SLUH doing a nice job of winning back possession. Hennessy can't quite get there in time for the challenge. Here's Lehman. Alex Lehman looking into the middle. He was looking for number 2, Kurt Schumacher, but Donovan Ditto, but it was just behind him. And the moment passes, but SLUH doing a nice job of recycling possession. And Hennessy trying to clear. CBC trying to get some sort of possession going here. And Starzyk. He's going to go direct. Boy, I got to say, you'd almost like to see him just settle down a little bit there, maybe play the ball back to his midfielders, play the ball back to Jack Edwards there.
Yeah, that was a little ambitious.
So 5 minutes gone, and I think we can already say from SLUH, we're seeing a pretty direct approach tonight, aren't we?
Yes, very direct approach from SLUH, looking to get the ball deep. So far, CBC's had the bulk of the possession.
And that one is ruled offsides as the cross comes in, which gives us a moment to ask Cadet fans, are you protected? Call State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo for all your insurance needs. Tim is more than just the best insurance guy in town. He's also the presenting sponsor of CSN, and we are incredibly grateful for his support. Call Tim at 314-842-4442 or send him an email at tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. And not the best ball out there. I don't think that's how you draw it up. CBC tries to dump it back in again for Starzyk on the right.
That one's going in the... stayed in the park.
Somewhere there's a lucky ball boy. Breathes a sigh of relief. If you've watched games before, you know that is a long, dark, lonely walk. A lot of vegetation back there.
A lot of vegetation. Some swampy area, too. There is a creek down there.
Yeah, you can lose a shoe. And here's the corner. Coming in from Leach's right foot. Good driven ball headed in by Verhulst. But right into the hands of Alec Meissner, and he gets his first comfortable touches on the ball. Good ball in from Leach. He likes that driven ball, not necessarily, he's not a lofter when it comes to crossing.
And as goal scorers, that's what you want to see. You want to see a nice driven ball in, easy to deflect, and get on target.
And the defenders don't have time to get set underneath the dropping ball.
That is correct.
That one's cleared out by CBC. It'll be a throw-in coming in. Billy Hughes to take it. Actually, no, he's going to leave it for, it looks like, Jeff Walter.
Nice toss, Jeff.
And Jeff down the line, headed out by Lanero. This is Ditto over there. He's in a pretty good battle with Tyler McAllister. McAllister doing a nice job on the defensive side of the ball. He should get some applause from the CBC fans for that. And now Edwards. Ball played up. And not really going anywhere. Leach now. A little deeper than you'd like to see him on the field. That's really Jack Edwards' territory. You'd like to see Leach holding a little bit higher, giving CBC more of a link between the midfield and attack rather than the midfield and defense. But I'm sure that's going to be happening later on. And Camp will get another gather here. I think it's safe to say we're a little unsettled here in the first 8 minutes or so.
Yeah, I would say so. A lot of possession going back and forth between the two teams. No one really comfortable yet trying to establish a rhythm.
And when CBC has been at their best, it's been by utilizing that midfield. It has been by Jack Edwards starting things out. When defenders get the ball, they want to look for his feet. When Hennessy gets the ball in the situation, he's going to play it wide. But CBC really needs, rather than playing that ball directly down the wing, they need to get that ball in the middle to Jack Edwards. Let him reset. If he dribbles, but mostly he's going to look to pass. He's going to look to switch fields. That's when CBC is at their most dangerous, when they have that pivot player, and Jack Edwards is generally that guy. And this one intercepted by SLUH. Here's Ditto. Cuts it back. Still in possession. Doing a nice job is Donovan Ditto. He plays it over to the near side. That's Lehman. And Lehman back to his center back. Plays it up to number 8, Brandon Trussler. And into the middle, here's Gedeker. Out for Lehman. And now getting involved is Joey Kraus. And that ball's going to be through for Mike Camp. And just like that, we are 9 minutes into the game. Played long from Camp, headed by Hughes. Right to Verhulst. Still trying to find something. Again, the direct look from SLUH. Nothing really doing on that one, though. And Gertison's got Linero if he wants him. Decides not. And he is going to throw it in down the line for Hennessy. That one's off a Junior Bill head. Played out by Tyler McAllister looking for the corner. And we'll have our first substitutions of the game. Coming on for SLUH, number 15, Luke Marcoulier, and number 7, Will Rudder. And making way, Donovan Ditto, as well as Pietro Nicastro. Good show up from both supporter sections. SLUH student section doing a nice job down there. And you may catch a glimpse of the CBC student section down behind this that north goal, the goal they're defending at the moment. It is a dad-themed night. The boys brought out their denim. They brought out the khaki hats, the lawn chairs. They're having a good time.
Yeah, very interesting way to watch the soccer broadcast today is courtesy of the lawn chair. It's a very cool idea, something different that we can definitely take advantage of.
And the boys were talking about it all day at school today. They were looking forward to this.
That's good.
And this one's played up for Leach. Again, this is the role we like him in. Very far up the field, interacting and passing with the forwards. And Starzyk looks back to him. That ball is played in, looking for E.J. Verhulst. He can get a good right-footed cross in. Doesn't quite make it through to Dempster. You'd like to see Dempster attack that ball maybe a little bit more. But that ball tried to play in was Brendan Hennessy. Cleared by SLUH. And very nice composed job by number 20, Joey Kraus, of clearing that one. They are under pressure. Good move there. Good skill from Billy Hughes. Taking advantage of Tyler McAllister's energy there. Now, Verhulst has options down the right. I think he tried to hit that one. Maybe got caught a little bit. We mentioned hitting one from 30 or so just to test the keeper early. I think that might have been the attempt.
Could have been it.
He never made it to the ball, though. Here's Hughes. Good ball into the middle. Gedeker can't quite turn on goal, and Linero pounces. And we've talked about the rest of the spine of the team, so we might as well talk about Connor Linero. We've mentioned Sam Leach being the central attacking pivot. We mentioned Jack Edwards being the central possession pivot a little bit deeper. Connor Linero has been such a big part of this team all year. He's really fantastic, isn't he?
Yeah, that position is very important in the way that Coach Mickler plays. He's basically like a quarterback on the field. He's the one who organizes the defense, gets the midfield set up, makes sure Jack Edwards is in a comfortable spot to receive the ball and be that pivot player.
Left-footed shot from Dempster there. Easy enough for Meissner. But you mentioned that another aspect of that, anytime you're playing a center back in a 3-back system, and of course we're seeing this all over the world now, the emphasis, it's almost like defending is secondary for center backs these days. All the high-priced center backs that are going these days, you look at the John Stones Manchester City deal, you look at David Luiz coming back to Chelsea, it's all about who can play with the ball at their feet.
That's very important. Very important is not only can that center back defend, but he's got to be able to be an outlet. He's got to be someone that can play the ball and you can rely on to keep possession of the ball for you as a team.
And here is Linero. Gerdeson. Good turn. Yeah, very good turn by Verhulst. And now here's Leach. He's got an option right. That's Nolan DeWeese, just a little bit too far ahead of him. And with 27 minutes to go, SLUH will have a throw. I guess he went all the way back over the head. We'll give the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't see it called very often. And, of course, taboo to talk about side spin on a throw-in. But good turn there from Goedeker. Now, Goedeker's got something here. But a wonderful job of stepping by Ryan Gerdeson. You got to credit Nolan DeWeese. Nolan DeWeese, only a sophomore, but a very composed defender. He knew he had to maintain that contact to buy Linero and Gerdeson just a little bit of time to get up in support of him. And that's exactly what happened there. Nice job, Nolan, and nice job, Ryan, by coming to support. Good, another good turn by Goedeker. And we got a pullback being called against CBC. So dangerous free kick here for SLUH. Remember, they did score off a free kick in the game on Saturday night. Granted, it was a little bit closer in than this. This is going to be, this is...
It was a good 35, 40 yards away.
Yeah.
When they placed the ball.
Probably not an ideal shooting scenario, although you never know. That's also what Mike Camp is thinking right now. So if you're SLUH, you might say, hey, maybe I can catch the keeper cheating toward that back post looking for the cross. Nick Dempster helping set the wall. And it will be a right-footed free kick. Based on the run-up, it does look like it's going to be an in-swinging cross. Probably aiming for the far corner of the 6-yard box. And 25 to go as this one's hit. It is on goal. And that is just past that far post. Camp scrambling a little bit. It might have been a little bit farther away from the post than it looked from up here, but not a bad effort at it. Again, quite a bit of range there, so it's got to be a pretty spectacular effort to beat a goalkeeper from there.
Yeah, that would be a world-class goal if it goes in from there.
And this one bouncing around. Hennessy shoved. And the guilty party was Brandon Tressler there. So it will be a CBC ball going in. Jack Edwards will take it. Now Leach. Edwards, he's got Gerdeson on this near side. And he's going to use him. Back to Edwards. Nobody really showing. Finally, Sam Leach does. Had to play it long. Good turn by Leach. Leach dumps it over the top looking for Nick Dempster. And Meissner very quick off his line. We saw that on Saturday night. He's very, very good at anticipating the trajectory of the ball, and he's very, very quick in coming off his line to grab it. Whether it's inside the box or out, you will probably see him playing a little bit of a sweeper keeper tonight. We mentioned defensive players needing to be able to play with the ball at their feet, increasingly even so with goalkeepers. And Meissner is a good example of the sort of new breed of goalkeepers. Probably much more front-footed than Camp or Cam Meyer. Not necessarily a better or worse type thing, but just a different approach. And this ball's still bouncing around. Now, one of the things I've noticed, Bill, and maybe you could shed some light on this, is the ability of number 14, it's Ray Goedeker for SLUH, to turn these CBC defenders. We've seen it 2 or 3 times. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's very quick, and his movement is really, really fluid. So what do you have to do to counter a guy who's looking to get in close to you and just slip on a turn?
It's all about your body positioning, especially your starting positioning. As the ball's being played into him, making sure that you have the right angle if you're going to win the ball or not, or if you're going to just need to defend. There's been a couple times already where we have chosen the wrong angle, and he's been a very good player as far as turning and knowing where that defender is and changing his body position to make that turn.
And that one headed. It's certainly something we're going to be watching. Something we saw come up in the DeSmet game in the CBC tournament. The centers forwards of DeSmet looking to turn the CBC defenders, especially Connor Lanero. Now, they did it with size. Goedeker's going to have to do it with speed and anticipation and just kind of flexibility almost. But definitely something to keep our eye on as CBC tries to get some attacking momentum here. Haven't had too much in the way of good chances. The best chance so far coming on a header from, I believe it was E.J. Verhulst, off corner kick from Sam Leach. But that's been about it in terms of chances on goal for CBC. Gertison flicks on the wrong way. And this bounce around here is Goedeker again. Looks down the flank. He had Hughes. Hughes turns it back. Good job by Gertison to stay with it. And there's the intelligence of Connor Lanero sitting back, knowing Gertison was up, and covering the channel. Be a goal kick.
Smart to let that run out of bounds. There was really nothing over here as a way to play the ball. So just let it go out of bounds, regroup with a goal kick, and let's get the ball up the field.
And I think it's fair to say that in the first 10 minutes it was a story of being a little bit frantic, ball bouncing around a little bit both ways. We're starting to see it settle down a little bit. What are you seeing as this game's kind of opening up a little bit?
I see the game starting to calm down, kind of open up. This is the time we need Brendan Hennessy to step up and Jack Edwards to step up and win that battle in the middle of the field. We start winning that battle in the middle of the field, we will then get the ball wide, get the ball forward, get some more opportunities at goal. But we need to start winning that battle in the middle of the field.
And I think that is very much, that's the way CBC plays. It's no secret. Everybody knows they want to win it in the midfield, win it in the center of midfield, play it wide, and then work it in from the wide attacking positions. So it's just a matter of getting back to basics of CBC soccer. McAllister tries to nutmeg his man, can't quite do it. Jeff Walter plays it in, and Camp has no problem with this one.
No.
And it was being chased down by Will Rudder, but he had a long way to go to catch up with that. Do have to credit SLUH, though, for some of the pressing they're doing. They're doing a nice job of pressing CBC backs and kind of holding midfielders in possession.
Yeah, they're doing a real good job of keeping the ball in front of them. They're not having to chase too much, which is really important for a SLUH team. SLUH needs to make sure that they stay in front of the ball and not get caught going back towards their own goal.
Good ball there. Good idea from Scott Janisic. Just didn't quite put enough on it to find a strike partner there, but nice little idea, nice little back heel, drew two defenders, and played it into the space. CBC a little bit lucky that didn't work out. Now here's Dempster at the other end. Dempster, not sure if that was a cross or a shot or if he knew exactly what that was.
That was one of those shot crosses that you just, after you kick it, you're like, oh, why did I do that?
Well, it leaves open the option that the wind could blow it into the goal and you can take credit for a world beater. But
absolutely.
That's certainly a possibility. The more likely scenario was that it was a little bit of a mishit cross for E.J. Verhulst. We'll go with that.
We'll go with that.
Now, this time it's Starzyk chasing it down on that far side. Kurt Schumacher over there duking it out with him. And Schumacher gets the better there. Good physical battle over there. And now Lanero. Edwards. Switching possession. That's what we talked about. The need for those central midfielders to get on the ball.
There's
switch
a good
fields.
turn by EJ.
Another good turn from E.J. Verhulst. That's two tonight so far. Now McAllister on the wing. Got to keep this going if you're CBC. He beats Hughes. One-on-one with his man. Cuts inside. He's got a right-footed effort. Near post. Good save by Meissner. That was knuckling in nicely at that near post. And Alec Meissner down extremely quickly. Wonderful shot. Wonderful save there. And just like that, CBC has a corner.
That was an excellent first touch by Tyler McAllister to take it away from pressure. Opened everything up for him down that line.
McAllister with the right on the corner. Goes back post. Gertison can't get on the end of it, and it will be a goal kick. But that's exactly what you were talking about, Bill. Notice what happened. The ball goes to the center of midfield. Edwards turns, switches the point of attack. The ball gets played up to Verhulst, a striker tracking back. He turns, looks to a man in a wide position, and you attack from wide positions.
Absolutely.
It's textbook CBC soccer right there.
Absolutely. Coach Mickler will be pleased with that run of play, just looking for the finish to the far post.
And, of course, with Coach Mickler, we got to make all the Dutch comparisons we can. Looking at the inverted winger, you try to drive in and shoot with the inside foot. That's exactly what McAllister did there. We've seen good examples in guys like, Arjen Robben. I believe he's gathered some critical acclaim for doing that.
Absolutely.
So certainly a way to play that the Dutch have refined over the years, and Coach Mickler is a great student of Dutch soccer. Certainly picking up on that. Isn't it great when you can watch high school soccer and talk about school styles of play as opposed to just, you get whoever you happen to have that year and you completely tweak your style? The ability of CBC and SLUH and DeSmet and the MCC schools and so many schools in the area, we're very blessed to have this, that you have an established way of playing. A CBC team is a unique team. It's not a SLUH team. It's not a Vianney team. It's not a DeSmet team. And year after year, no matter who comes in, these systems and these programs maintain that unique flair that they have.
Yeah, I think all the programs in the MCC do an excellent job of bringing the kids up through the program. I think, especially here, we Coach Mickler installs in us that even at the freshman level, we try to play a certain way. We try to play the way the CBC should be playing so that we can get them prepared to play for varsity. As a job of the freshman coach, one of my probably my primary job, isn't necessarily to win games, but as the freshman coach is to prepare these kids to play at the varsity level. Get them prepared. Have fun while they're doing it. Enjoy their school experience, but to get them ready to play for the varsity level. That's what the younger programs are built for. And I think most of the MCC schools do a very good job of that.
And it certainly benefits the viewer, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
We want to thank you for joining us. We are here at CBC as a throw-in comes from SLUH. And that's worked out wide. Looks like the ball either crossed over the line or was offsides. The difference between a goal kick and an offsides there is academic. But in case we hadn't mentioned it, it is a beautiful night here. We are bringing this game to you on the Cadet Student Network. My name is Tom Eichwald. I'm bringing you the game alongside Bill Baumhoff. And it is a perfect fall evening. A light breeze, nice, cool, crisp air.
Almost need a jacket.
Almost. It is absolutely perfect out here, isn't it?
Lovely.
And we've got a 0-0 game between historical rivals. Ball played over the top. Dempster getting onto this. Uses the head to control once. And Meissner again out quickly. And Dempster taken down there by number 24, Jeff Walter. Really more of a coming together. Certainly nothing malicious there. And Meissner's kick headed forward by Jack Edwards. Verhulst looking to get onto it. Now Starzyk. I will say this is also probably the longest stretch we've seen the CBC starters play.
I was just getting ready to say we haven't made a sub yet. This is kind of interesting for Coach Mickler.
Well, I think, to be honest, and you would certainly know this better than I would as a coach and having, played under Terry and worked with him for so long. But I think it's a matter of he likes what he's seeing. He saw that on that shot from Tyler McAllister, CBC was starting to do exactly what he's tried to instill in him. And to mess with that right now not only deprives you an opportunity to win this game, but an opportunity to get just reps of doing exactly what you're supposed to do, the passing patterns that he looks for.
That's correct.
I think this is a no sub that's not only for this game but also for late season, essentially.
Correct. And it's one of those where it's not hot out. Like we said, we mentioned the weather. Don't really need to save yourself. You've got plenty of energy. The weather's nice. This is why you train in the hot dog days of August, so that you can play at this time of year.
And good job by Lanero there of winning the ball, but SLUH does play it back in. Here's Donovan Ditto. Ditto cuts inside. Gertison also coming inside to help him out, and Gertison wins the ball. So your left back playing as a central midfielder there. Finds the feet of Dempster. Dempster to Verhulst. Verhulst looks to keep it on that side, finally switches, and he's got Gertison again, who's got a man on. Got to fight every instinct to yell man on. I don't think our viewers would appreciate that very much, Bill.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes to not try to yell or help them kick.
Yes. As standing very close to you up here in the broadcast booth, let's not try kicking.
Exactly.
Safety first is what we say. 12:57 to go here in the first half. 0-0 between CBC and SLUH. And if we had to summarize the game so far, we would say the first 10 minutes have been a little bit frantic, much more open since then. And as far as chances go, not much in the way of clear-cut chances for either team. The best chances of the game probably going CBC's way. One off of a corner and an E.J. Verhulst header that was easily saved by Meissner, and the other off of a shot from the right foot of Tyler McAllister just a few minutes ago. But that's about it in terms of chances. Donovan Ditto turns McAllister. Mike Camp read it very, very quickly. That is wonderful, positive goalkeeping, and that'll be good for his confidence in the first half here. Sensed that his defender was in a little bit of trouble and came to the rescue.
Good timing by Camp. Very well done.
And we mentioned Mike Camp getting the start over Cam Meyer. Just trying to mix it up, make sure both are sharp, make sure there's some competition. You hear about it a lot, competition for positions. And having goalkeepers who are fighting it out, trying to prove that they're the best you got, is certainly a good situation to be in if you are a coach, player, or fan. And that one's dumped in by McAllister. It drops. Dempster can't quite get on the end of it. And I think, and this one is cleared by Edwards. Let's talk a little bit about the role that Nick Dempster's playing, because he's getting involved. When he's getting involved, it's mostly, and this year we've seen a change in him. It's not necessarily that he's, opening up lanes with his movement. I don't know that he really has to do much of that, because E.J. Verhulst is doing that, Sam Leach is doing that, McAllister and Starzyk are doing that. I think he's trying to establish himself as just a physical presence in the middle, kind of making these center backs think twice about taking their time on the ball. What would you say about Nick Dempster's role this year and how it's changed?
The way it's changed a little bit is this year he's more of an up-top target, someone that we can play the ball to, that coach and the rest of the team have confidence in, won't lose the ball when we send it up to him, so that we can attack and come up the field. He's done very well at holding the ball for us, and he's got good vision, good enough that when he gets the ball, he'll keep it for us, but then he'll find somebody running on.
And again, we mentioned the mobile options that he is surrounded by. Verhulst, McAllister, Starzyk, and Leach, all tremendous attacking players. So good situation for Dempster. He should have options around him. And we got to mention there, while we were talking about that, Donovan Ditto finding a nice ball to Pietro Nicastro, very nearly hitting the bar. So we'll add that to the list of quality chances in this game.
This is better. This is better positive movement until there.
Yep, I was going to say, the pattern looked intact until Dempster looked inside rather than looking wide. And here's Leach. Why worry about passing patterns when you can just take it direct? Good save from Meissner, again getting down quickly to his right.
Very good run by Leach. Very positive run, taking players on. That's something we want to see out of our attacking midfielder.
Well, and of course, when you take players on, it makes him think twice next time. He may not take it on every time. He may not dribble at his man every time. But when you dribble at your man, you force him to sit back a little bit and wait for the dribble. And, of course, that clears you for the shot. So
absolutely,
making the defenders think a little bit, which is the most dangerous thing if you're a defender.
Especially if you're inside the penalty area. Because if you're inside the penalty area, take people on. They foul you, they touch you. Next thing you know, it's a penalty kick.
And here is the free kick. Taken into the penalty area. Jack Edwards heading clear. Only cleared as far as Hughes, though. Hughes dumps it back in. Lehman trying to interact there with and connect with Nicastro, but can't quite do it. And now SLUH trying to build something. Again, you can see the direct intent. That ball's played in, comfortable for Camp. See the very direct intent. They're looking to kind of cram it right down the middle of CBC.
Yeah, there hasn't been much mystery. It's all been very direct for SLUH this half.
And I think that, to be quite honest, I think they're missing something with Ray Gedeker, number 14, on the bench. We saw him, if you're going to play direct, you need somebody who knows exactly how to handle the ball in the middle of the field. And Gedeker, as a central striker, has that ability to turn his man and to let things happen around him. His Camp, again, is outside of his penalty area. He's going to shepherd that one out for a goal kick. Good decisions from Mike Camp.
Very good, positive decision. Oh, here comes our CBC subs.
8 minutes to go. All right, theory, what do you think of it? Bring on a bunch of subs. They play out the half. You go with your starters for most of the second half and let them play.
I think that's what Terry's probably going to do. Coach Michler's going to do. He's going to give these starters a break. They've played for the bulk of the half. See if this group can come in and still provide a spark and get us through to halftime.
And we'll try to almost wholesale changes here, but we'll try to give you the names here as soon as we get a break. This is Ditto. Ditto to his right. Gets a little bit of space. He's got options in support. Tracked down by Leach now. And this ball played out to the near side to Hughes. Hughes cuts it back, played out by Elijah Johnson. One of the substitutes. Also on over here, number 20, Sam Benoist. In the middle of the field, looks like Damian Klukas in there. We've also got Ethan Robinson up top. And along with Elijah Johnson up top, they're the new front two. Looks like A.J. Jones over on the right-hand wing. Linero's still on. Edwards still on. Gertison's still on. That ball played in. And there is the aforementioned Ray Gedeker trying to get in and cause some problems. And I can't tell, that might be Sam Costa over there. He might have come on for Nolan DeWeese.
Looks like him, yes. Looks like
Sam Costa. Costa and DeWeese, both of them wear black shoes. Both of them have black hair. Sometimes a little difficult to tell them apart when they're on the opposite side of the field.
Wear their hair almost exactly the same, too.
Come on, boys. Somebody give us a man bun or something. Pretend we don't have a haircut at school. Now here is number 19 with the corner. This is Peter Kickham. And that's backside. Ooh, didn't quite fall there. And Kickham trying to get a poke in. He's trying to say the goalkeeper touched it. Mike Camp will feel very complimented by that argument. I don't think I think that was a little bit beyond him.
I don't think he could jump quite that high. That almost hit the football uprights.
Unless Mike Camp can dunk on the football uprights, I don't think there's much of a case there. 5.5 to go now. Still scoreless. CBC in the white going right to left, and SLUH in the dark blue going left to right. That ball off the thigh of Ethan Robinson. Couldn't quite connect with Elijah Johnson. And this ball played in the corner where Camp will gather. And the SLUH fans starting to make a little bit of noise. They've got a drum over there, and they're trying to remind everybody of it. And that one's played out. This will be a SLUH throw going in. Inside of 5 to go. So far, I got to say, the longer spells of possession and some of the better play probably has gone CBC's way, although SLUH has looked very dangerous at times. And but for a couple bounces and quick closing from some of these defenders, probably would have had a few more chances here in the first half. And a physical battle gets a little bit too physical, but Sam Benoist comes out with a free kick. It was Peter Kickham draped all over him. Now Gertison. He's going to play it for Edwards. Edwards back to Linero. This is why you need a center back who can play the ball with his feet. Steps inside, puts a perfect pass on the foot of Sam Costa. Boy, you can't put a price on a guy who can do that, can you?
No, those are definitely something worth the price of admission. Good run.
That was a wonderful run there by Benoist. That ball played over there for, it looked like Robinson, but it is out. And we mentioned the center back there. That's something that you didn't really have, 10 years ago. I mean, 10 and 15 years ago, the further you go back, you don't necessarily have the emphasis that you have now on this, the ball-playing center back.
Yeah, it's something rather new, especially since most teams are going with a 3-back system now or something close to it. And with only having 3 backs, you need that one back there that can really anchor the defense and be your quarterback, be the one that can play the ball, be the one that can. Oh,
yeah. A little too overzealous there from Costa, and it will be a free kick in a dangerous area, an awkward position. Very tough to get one on target from there. Although I said that before, and I was nearly proven wrong. And I got to imagine this is going to be a cross. Although with only one man in the wall and a goalkeeper that's not necessarily the tallest, is he thinking about it?
He's thinking about it.
And that one's played in. Great ball played in. That's where you want it, right flashing across the front of the 6-yard box. I think it was almost too perfect for
that was
strikers.
one of those dangerous, real dangerous ball. SLUH would really like to have somebody get on the end of that one.
Well, it's frustrating to hit a ball like that and have nobody get on the end of it, I got to imagine.
Oh, yes.
Unless you're wearing white down there, then it's quite a relief, actually.
Yeah.
And you can appreciate the ball without consequence. That ball's played in. Good save from Mike Camp. That was knuckling toward his far post. And that's played back in, and Camp will gather. Good save there to his right. Got to say, probably a little bit more comfortable save than it looked like. It was a very, very good height for him, right about at that waist height. That's where you want it. But getting there and getting the strength on it to deflect it wide as opposed to right out into the traffic, that's where you make your money as a goalkeeper. Nice job by Mike of controlling the rebound. And this one played in for Goedeker. Goedeker looking to turn and cause problems like he did early on. Finds Connor Lanero. Now with 1 minute and 45 seconds here, can CBC change the complexion of this game? That ball's played into the corner. A.J. Jones is going to gather. No correction, that's Elijah Johnson working his way out. That's a striker working out wide. A.J. Jones, the right winger, had actually pinched inside. And Johnson with the throw that the referee must not have seen. And that is played inside. I think he actually did throw that around the side of his head. But both teams do it. Nobody calls it, so why not? Gertison back to Edwards. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. This is played in the middle for Lanero. He dumps it back to the near side. Might have wanted to switch it to Costa over there. But again, easy to save from up here. Here's Robinson. Cuts inside. He's got Benoist in front of him. Puts on the brakes. Tries to switch it up. And this is A.J. Jones over there. Now Elijah Johnson trying to cut inside. And that ball's played out by SLUH with 45 seconds to go. CBC needs to get a throw. Of course, it's a home game, so they get a ball quickly from the ball boy. And this ball's crossed in by Costa. Klukas can't get on it. And SLUH will clear. Here is Goedeker. Sloppy first touch. Eli Johnson doing a nice job to getting back and disrupting there. Now SLUH looking to attack. 25 seconds to go. CBC regains. Gertison. Ethan Robinson. Ethan cuts inside. He's got help over there on that far side in the form of Sam Leach, and he finds him, but it just bounces out of bounds. A rare miscontrol from Sam Leach. And with 10 seconds, you got to say there goes CBC's chance to pull out a lead at the end of this half. And there's one. We talked about the last one staying in bounds. Boy, that is deep. You see that kick, too. That thing kicked way down there.
That's a ball boy's nightmare.
So as the ball boy faces the grim prospects of his immediate future, we are going to face the much less grim prospects of a quick break, and then we will be back. We'll wrap up the first half, get you ready for the second half. We want to thank you for joining us. You're watching CBC 0, SLUH 0 on the Cadet Student Network. Hey, I want to welcome you back to the Tim Kylo broadcast booth here on the Cadet Student Network. Tom Eichwald alongside Coach Bill Baumhoff, bringing you CBC versus SLUH. As things stand, scoreless at half. We went through some of the details, but in case you're just joining us, Bill, take us through the kind of very broad, sweeping overview of what we saw in the first 40 minutes.
Sure. For the first 40 minutes, we saw basically the 10 minutes of getting to know you period, kind of like the courting, the dating. And then from there, it went to more of a direct style of play. CBC started to get some more possession. We had some good opportunities, but then SLUH was able to counter, and they had a couple of good opportunities as well. My camp has done well on the goal for us, and hopefully we can continue that in the second half.
And we were talking again at halftime. I think for CBC, it's starting to look dangerously close to a movie I've seen before, where CBC has great spells of possession. They start to dictate and control the game a little bit, but just don't really have much to show for it in the final third.
Yeah, that's something that has been kind of frustrating this year for this team, is they're getting some possession and they're getting good goal-scoring opportunities, but they're not finishing. And that's something that hopefully we can change here in the second half.
And speaking of the second half, as we start play, if you are now being a coach, you've been in the huddle at these points, you've been in games like this, you're tied 0-0. What is each of these coaches telling their players as they break the huddle, as they head out for the second half? So let's start with the SLUH Junior Bills. What is Coach Martell telling his guys heading into the second half of what's been a really entertaining game so far? Well,
more than likely what he's telling them is, we've weathered the storm. We weathered their first tough part. Let's make sure now that we come out, start to play our game, which is a more direct game, and let's get possession of the ball. I'm sure he's unhappy with the amount of possession that his team has had, so he'll probably was telling them to get more possession of the ball. For CBC, for Coach Mickler, he liked what he saw as far as ball possession, but he still wants us to be more direct. He wants us to get the goal and get some goal-scoring opportunities. He was probably a little upset with the number of goal-scoring opportunities that were created, but he was probably pleased with the way that we kept possession and battled back and won some of the balls in the defending end.
And as we get set here, one thing we've already seen at the start of the half, CBC looking to come out at a frantic pace. Again, it is the starting lineup out there like we thought. Most of them got an extended halftime, if you will, by being subbed off with 8 minutes to go in the first half. But one thing we've seen is Connor Linero, right off the bat, making an attacking run. We saw this role quite a bit last year with AJ, and we've seen it with X a little bit a few years ago, but mostly it's kind of the AJ role of that center back who has license to dribble, who has license to take guys on, to look to make runs deeper in the field, and the understanding with Jack Edwards to cover when he does that. So one thing to keep an eye on, does Connor Linero try to get involved a little bit farther up the pitch in the second half?
That'll be definitely good to see. Definitely good to see.
And here's Camp. Nice drop kick. And Starzyk looking to turn, but he is fouled, and it will be a free kick going in to CBC. And this is taken probably farther back than I thought it should have been, but DeWeese takes it short. And there is Gertison looking diagonally. Seen a few more diagonal balls already in the second half. You wonder if that was a point of conversation. And now Edwards into the middle. Starzyk, as central as you're ever going to see him. Take a picture. Starzyk family, record this. Memorize the time of that moment in the YouTube video. And this one played out wide from Gertison to his counterpart, DeWeese. And Nolan DeWeese looking in for Nick Dempster. Dempster turns. He's got a left-footed shot. Takes a deflection. It goes under the keeper. And that is in. That took a deflection off of number 3, Kurt Schumacher. It is not an own goal because that was on target, but it takes a deflection off of Schumacher, takes it directly underneath the dive of Meissner, and just like that, it is a goal to CBC. So Nick Dempster will be credited with the goal, and it's a bit of a bad break for this SLUH defense, but that's the way the game goes.
If you don't shoot, it can't go in. definitely something that we preach here. Coach talks about it all the time. In order to score a goal, you got to shoot the ball. It was a great pass by Nolan DeWeese into Dempster's feet. He was able to turn inside the penalty area. That's something that I'm sure the SLUH coach is not happy about, is letting him turn inside the penalty area. And he turned to his wonderful left foot, got a good strike off, goal CBC.
So with that, CBC takes the lead 1-0. CBC takes the lead 1-0, and we are at 35:54 to go in this first half. Nolan DeWeese fouled. So the goal will be credited to Nick Dempster, and that is his 5th of the year, which brings him within 1 of team leader Sam LUH. We've talked about this attacking cast that CBC has. Sam LUH with 6, Dempster now with 5, Robinson with 4, Johnson with 3, and a number of guys at 2, including Nate Tem, who is still out with concussion symptoms after the first meeting between these two teams of the year. And Meissner does a nice job to claim that one. That was in the CBC tournament, a game that CBC won by a score of 1-0. Seems to be a common score between these two this year. Of course, he took a hard blow to the head. Actually, it was on the ground. His head hit the ground and was taken to the hospital. He is okay. He is back at school. He's recovering, but not quite ready to play yet. So certainly hope to see him back out there soon. Linero. LUH. LUH looking to turn outside. He's got McAllister. Back into LUH. And he's going to switch play. That's very, very nicely done. And that ball's played across.
It's a
good ball at Sam LUH. And that's a right.
He missed it.
Oh,
he missed the open net.
It looked like the ball bounced just a little higher than he thought he would.
Yes, it did.
And it hit his ankle rather than his foot. What a chance that was. And it all came off of a wonderful switch of play from, I believe
he started it.
Yeah,
LUH started it, played a great ball out to Nolan DeWeese. DeWeese waited for LUH to make that forward run and played a great ball into his path.
Boy, we talked about switching field, switching point of attack. That was textbook.
Textbook.
And don't just stop at switching. Just follow your run. Make your run and see what happens. And I got to give credit to Nolan DeWeese for that ball. I thought it was going to be way too easy for Alec Meissner, but he put just enough swerve on it. It actually curved out of the path of the goalkeeper and right onto the foot of LUH, who was able to touch it around. I think it actually caught me by surprise with how it turned just a little bit at the end. I'm sure it caught Meissner off guard, too. I think he thought he had it.
I think it did. I think it caught him off guard, and it was just the right pace by Nolan DeWeese. Great pass.
You call that touch, folks, and that's hard to coach. And ironically, we're talking about the touch on the ball played into the guy with maybe the best touch on the team, and Sam LUH. DeWeese maybe staking a claim here.
He could be.
And this one's played in by Gettiker. Nothing really doing there. And now here is DeWeese. Hennessy, Edwards. This is where CBC needs to boss the game a little bit. Going to play it back to Linero. He's going to step up. Move. And he's going to play it with the outside of the right foot to LUH. Of course, these two sets of fans going back and forth. Ball played over the top, and Gertison plays it with the thigh back to Mike Camp. Looks like Donovan Ditto isn't happy with it, but oh well. CBC fans chanting scoreboard after an elaborate chant from SLUH. Got to applaud the creativity, but I'm sure the CBC fans will happily take a sedate 1-0 to the frenzy of creative cheering. And we mentioned in the first half, CBC's student section is mobile tonight. They're down behind the goal, and it is a dad theme. They all brought their lawn chairs. I think I see some tube socks down there. I see some white tennis shoes. I see all kinds of dad-ish things, or at least so they say. Dads, if your son is here at the game tonight, make sure you check him when he gets back home to see exactly what he thinks of you, apparently.
See if you raided your closet.
Yes. Yes, it's a good night for sweaters, too. I'm sure there's some good dad sweaters in there. And this one is played in the middle. Verhulst trying to track back. Does a nice job, wonderful job by E.J. Verhulst to stay with that, find Sam Leach, but Sam Leach can't quite find the pass. I think he was looking through to Dempster.
He was. He was trying to get that through on a one-time pass, and it just came up and hit his foot.
Would have been impressive if he had completed that. What is it with the ball bouncing unpredictably on Sam Leach in the last 5 minutes? That's 2. Should have been 2-0. The ball bounced up just slightly on Sam Leach, and he hit the outside of the net. I thought it was in. But it could very well be 2-0, and I think if you're SLU, you dodge a bullet there, and you got to really try to get back at this CBC team and, make them pay for that miss. And that's what they're trying to do. I think SLU's intensity since that goal has been very, very good. They're absolutely buzzing around out there now, and they know that the longer this game stays 1-0, the more confidence CBC is going to get. So they absolutely have to strike back, and they're assuming they have to strike back relatively quickly. Conversely, that's going to leave a little bit of space at the back for CBC to exploit. Here's what they're trying to do. This is McAllister over there. He's got options in the middle. He's got Dempster coming in. McAllister takes it on the right. We talked about the inverted winger, bringing it in and hitting with the right foot. But that is over. At best, that's 3 points in the other kind of football. But all he gets is a goal kick tonight. And Meissner will casually set it and give it a ride. 10 minutes gone in the second half. CBC with a score of 1-0. Apart from the obvious talking point of the goal, Coach, tell us the story of the first 10 minutes here.
I like what CBC has done. They've come out with a more attacking style, more direct, but still playing the flanks. They're looking for that ball, the diagonal ball now from the outside midfielder up to Dempster, up to Verhulst. Looking for that diagonal ball and taking advantage of some of the spacing that has been there for SLU. SLU needs to try to come back and counter now, but CBC's they're smelling the blood in the water. It's something that they need to try to take advantage of.
And you mentioned CBC getting the ball out wide. They were doing that in the first half when they were at their best, but they were doing it much farther up the field. At this point, they're looking to play wide around midfield and use the flanks in the midfield, whereas in the first half they were looking to play central until about the final third and then go wide.
Yes.
So that has been the switch. I guess they didn't like what was happening in the center of midfield, so just keep it out of the center of midfield. Let's play it wide and try that. And SLU, as I mentioned, is, they're starting to chase it a little bit, so there's going to be some spaces. There's a bigger gap than before between the SLU midfield and the defense that CBC, if they can, find some quick outlet passes wide especially, which they're trying to do, they could really find some joy on the counterattack here. And they very nearly did with Sam Leach's goal, or what would have been Sam Leach's goal. And bouncing around, Hennessy dumps it down the flank. SLU tries to head clear. Wonderful job by E.J. Verhulst tracking back, winning that one and trying to get it across to Starzyk. Starzyk beats his man and is brought down. Bryce Starzyk was brought down there by Luc Marcouillet, number 15. CBC fans didn't like that one. And this will be taken. Sam Leach making his way over there. We mentioned that he likes to play the driven ball as opposed to anything lofted. It's a little bit harder to drive it from here with a two-man wall right in front of you, so you might have to loft this one a little bit. The goalkeeper way off the near post. I wouldn't put past Sam to try something cheeky in the near post. I'm not advocating that, but I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, he's got a lot of daylight there. And he elects to play the cross. Not high enough to clear everybody. Back in. That one's high enough to clear everybody except Dempster. Dempster looks to head back across, but it ends up wide. If you're Nick Dempster, that's unfortunate, but you really do have to put that one back in play.
He needs to put that back towards the 6-yard box so that one of our players can run onto it and finish it on net.
Well, it almost looks like his shoulders were more squared toward the goal, like he was trying to head it that way, then realized he couldn't, so he tried to switch his head without the shoulders, and nothing good happens there. You kind of need to angle your shoulders out toward that penalty spot to make sure that you don't give him an easy goal kick.
Absolutely. A lot of people are amazed on how much body positioning actually plays into soccer.
But again, very easy to say from
up here,
from a commentary booth.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a foul. Good call.
And this one will be Verhulst takes it quickly. Hennessy all the way back to Gertison at left back. Gertison's going to play that diagonal, looking for Starzyk. Starzyk in a one-on-one. He's putting good pressure on. Bryce Starzyk is absolutely tireless on the flank. He is the kind of midfield you want on your team because he is going to go until his legs fall off. And here's Verhulst. Out wide. Leach. Right foot. There's that near post attempt, but Meissner does read that one nicely. That's an easy one to get caught out on as a goalkeeper. You can start to cheat a little bit. You see him looking at the options back post. You take a couple, start taking a couple creepy steps, and you get caught out. Nice job by Meissner of recovering.
Let's go now, Blue. Let's go now.
And 25-15 now to go. Throw in taken by Nolan DeWeese. Back to Connor Linero. Linero very direct. Playing it to where he thought Starzyk was. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. And that is a handball on Nolan DeWeese. And this will be going into the Junior Bills. And far from desperation right now for SLUH. We mentioned they want to hit back quickly. They know it's not necessarily urgent just yet. And this ball is played in. Mike Camp comes out and does a nice punch. Gets two good hands to that. And that's good goalkeeping. If we're going to be, and that's played in wide. If we're going to be nitpicky, we'll say we didn't hear the keeper shout from up here with headphones on, but he did the job. And I'm starting to say, and Bill, maybe you can weigh in on this. When you talk about the sense of urgency, 24 minutes to go. You got plenty of time if you're SLUH, but in a game like this that's so evenly matched, you can lose 10, 15 minutes of play like blinking an eye. I mean, it doesn't take long. You go back and forth a little bit, go back and forth a couple times. All of a sudden, you get down to 13 minutes to go. So that's not at all. It doesn't take that long to get to a situation where it is a little bit more desperate.
Absolutely. It was a good positive run by Jack Edwards.
And he's got Verhulst wide right. Verhulst across. Meissner does a nice job of pouncing on that. Really good goalkeeper. Fun to watch.
Yeah. Getting back to what you said, though, the timing and everything. With 23 minutes left, what you want to do is, as CBC, you don't want to start getting into that defensive mode of falling back and waiting and just trying to hold on to the lead. The 1-0 lead is a horrible lead to have because all it takes is one slip, one free kick, one corner kick, and next thing you know, you're getting it out of the back of your net. So now's the time to still attack, and make sure that we try to get the ball forward and find that second goal.
Leach can't find Dempster. And again, as subtext of this, certainly in the back of CBC minds, that ball is played over the top. Camp can't quite get there. That was harder to say than I anticipated. But the run is offsides anyway. That was number 7, Will Rudder, making the run. But yeah, absolutely, certainly, if you're CBC, you can't get caught back. But in the back of CBC minds, as I was starting to say, is that missed Sam Leach opportunity. It's a 1-goal lead that could, and to be honest with you, should have been a 2-goal lead. So you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you give up a goal, whether it's a good goal or whether it's some freak incident, whatever it is, and you're thinking, oh man, we should be up, but we're not. So you got to really take advantage of those. And if you're CBC, you have to keep looking for that second so you don't wonder what if.
Exactly. Keep looking for that second goal. Keep find it. Find it somewhere within the game.
And McAllister looking to turn. Can't quite do it. This ball is played up. A trio of SLUH attackers. They now have 3 at the front, 3 at the back, and everybody else in between. And that's a foul on Brendan Hennessy. Hennessy being the fouled And he was brought down, it looked like, by number 18, Brandon Trussler of SLUH. Kind of a workhorse in the middle of the SLUH midfield.
Nice step. No!
And we've talked a lot about CBC and the way they're approaching this game. We are, after all, the Cadet Student Network. We are cadets. We are brothers, boys. We got cadets working on the broadcast. Charlie Hines up on camera. We got Mr. Randy Gardner helping us out. So, of course, we're going to talk quite a bit about CBC. But let's talk a little bit about what SLUH's approach to this game has been. We talked early on about how they were settling into the game. They started to get a few options by playing very direct. They haven't had quite as much in the final third. They've been good in the center and midfield. What are you seeing, kind of both in terms of what have you seen and what are you expecting SLUH to do to get back into this game, Coach?
Yeah, right now they're not playing with enough energy. I think Coach Martell will be the first one to admit that right now they're just lacking that desire to actually find a goal in here. I think CBC's been more aggressive and more attacking style, and SLUH's looking to get that going. Right now they need to find a way to get the ball up top and find a way to get some possession and get it up to their striker up here, Scott Janisic, and make sure that he can get possession of the ball for him and then play off of him. They like to play with one up top and then run off that guy as they play the ball to him. And
it's hard to do when you're so stretched. I mean, Janisic is up there, and that ball's played across. Oh, off the post. Meissner can't quite bring it in, but the defense clears. What a ball that was. I believe it was Dempster playing it over to E.J. Verhulst. We talked about Dempster being able to pick a pass. There it was. And E.J. Verhulst beats the keeper but can't beat the upright.
That was a great pass by Dempster. Even better for Verhulst to get that ball out of the air and take it one time and put it on target.
That's really impressive. Just to finish the point, and certainly deserved to be interrupted by, what a fantastic effort from Dempster and Verhulst. But to finish the point, SLUH getting very stretched at the top. It was Janisic. He's now, I lost track of him. He's over on this near-hand side. But he gets so isolated up there. In the first half, there were always runners around that central striker. So you mentioned they need to get some possession, show some energy. As a consequence of maybe not having that energy to get up as quickly, he's up there trying to win the ball, and there's nobody around him. Even if he wins the ball and takes 3-4 touches, it's going to take 5-6 touches before he's got options around him, and you just don't get 5-6 touches with this intensity from CBC. So he's going to take a break, a much-deserved one, and the pair of Ray Gedeker and Donovan Ditto is going to come back on, and you got to imagine they've been instructed, make sure you know where each other is at every moment, and make sure you're working together as opposed to getting isolated up there. 18:26 to go.
Step two, Miles. Check two.
And this one played over to the near side. Over here is Joey Kraus. SLUH trying to clear, again very direct. Edwards to Starzyk, cuts back. Starzyk plays end line for Elijah Johnson, who's on as a substitute. And that is played out of bounds. Just looking across the field, a couple substitutions made. Elijah Johnson over here as an attacking sub on the right. Ooh, good look there. And it looks like, is that Brendan McAllister, I believe, over there on the left-hand side?
I believe you're right. Looks like Brendan McAllister.
It's the razor-sharp flat top. You see it.
Yes.
I might not be able to see the number, but I could see the flat top. What a nice kid he is.
He's had that since freshman year. He played for me freshman year. Yes.
Yes. And this one is over Eli Johnson, brought down by the midriff of Starzyk, and booted out of bounds by somebody in blue. This will be a throw-in for DeWeese. It's a good one. Pretend you don't see the side spin. Now, you might actually be able to see that because we're actually broadcasting in high def tonight.
Wow.
It's an upgrade here on CSN. We hope you're enjoying the broadcast.
And for those of you, too, that are first seeing it, we have a brand new scoreboard.
We do.
I think it's a week old.
It is. It was installed about an hour and a half before the start of the CBC SLUH football game.
There you go.
Came down to the wire, but it's working. And McAllister heads it on to Johnson. Johnson trying to go around the left back there. Number 7, Will Rudder. Couldn't quite make it. Correction, that's not number 7. That's number 3. Oh. And Eli Johnson looking for the cross, the kind of dinked cross to that back post, but just mishit it. Kurt Schumacher, the defender over there on that right-hand side of SLUH, left hand for CBC. So Kurt Schumacher, the number 3 over there. And again, good idea from Eli Johnson. Very athletic player, uses his strength well. He's got some speed. He gets himself into some very good positions. Sometimes can be a little bit let down by the touch, but it's a work in progress, which you want. There you see the physicality. And if he could really kind of put some effort into that first touch and the first controlling touch, man, what a force he could be up there.
Definitely. He needs to just continue to work on his first touch and his ability to hold the ball for us up top. But he's lightning quick, and he's pretty good finisher too. I believe.
Yeah, and he is
our 4th leading scorer.
He is.
Yeah.
And just a junior, so he's got another go at this.
Absolutely.
Getting some invaluable experience. You can tell he's taken position to be. He's kind of taken, what do I want to say? He's in position to seize a pretty good role next year in what should be still a very, very talented CBC team. And that ball is out off of SLUH, so it will be a CBC throw. 14:37 to go. We mentioned how quickly you can get down to that 13 minutes.
Absolutely.
It seems like we were just talking about 23 minutes ago. And all of a sudden, here you are at SLUH. Before you know it, it's going to be 10 minutes, and you're going to really have to start getting a little bit more aggressive, throwing caution a little bit more to the wind. And here's McAllister trying to get it on that left foot. Cuts inside. Can he get a cross off? No, he can't, but he's still fighting and wins it back. Good fight from McAllister. Cuts it inside to the other McAllister. Brendan to Tyler. And that's cleared by SLUH, but it'll come right back in for a CBC throw. Played across to Nolan DeWeese. And that is out of bounds. It will be going CBC's way, though. Good pressure, got to say, from number 15, Luke Marcouillet. Could be horribly mispronouncing that name. I apologize to the Marcouillet family if they're listening. And
I wasn't even going to try.
great job by Luke. That's a first name special there. And this one finds Jack Edwards. He's got Sam Leach in all kinds of space. Leach finds it. Ooh, almost finds a pass through to Eli Johnson. Couldn't quite thread it through, though. The pace of this game starting to pick up. The energy level for SLUH starting to up a little bit just of necessity here. And it looks like we have Joe Angelbeck on in midfield. He's playing alongside
Jack Edwards.
Jack Edwards came in for Hennessy. Here's the speed of Eli Johnson. Can he beat his man? He gives him a little something for the effort, but Schumacher ends up beating him to it. Great recovery there from Kurt Schumacher. But there you see the pace and just the kind of player that
Absolutely.
Eli is.
Absolutely.
Man, that's frightening.
Coaches love it when you can put defense under pressure. Here comes Tyler McAllister.
And can he cut back? No, he can't. Again, Schumacher is there, and that one fortunately stays in bounds. There's a happy ball boy over there. And this will be a throw.
Should be a throw for CBC.
Yeah, I think it went the safe side of the flag if you're a SLUH junior Billiken. The ball boy putting it on the corner spot, though. And it will be a corner. It went out on the end line. Hard to tell from here. And that's played in low. Doesn't beat the first man. McAllister was crashing it. But this one's going to be played to Nolan Deweese, who really only has one option, back to Mike Camp. And here Mike Camp's going to have to be composed on the ball, and he is. Very nicely done. Mike Camp's had a very good game tonight so far. You have to say that to avoid any commentator curse.
Absolutely.
I've done it before.
At least we don't have to worry about like a pitcher not pitching a perfect game or
Right.
something like that.
Right.
Not doing one of those calls today.
Well, for the first couple games of CBC season, of course, they hadn't conceded a goal yet. But, of course, you can't talk about that. I heard somebody mention it the day of the Vianney game. We're not naming names.
We won't name names. No.
SLUH fans showing their appreciation for Rennie Knott, who I think is actually over there.
Yeah, I saw the Channel 5 news truck over there, so could very well be.
And here is Leach. E.J. Verhulst again on the turn. That's a field goal, but E.J. Verhulst has I think he's had a wonderful game. I think he really has been involved up there, and he's set up a lot for Sam Leach and Nick Dempster.
He's shown a lot of confidence on the ball. He's been very confident on his touch, very confident on his passing, and he's made some very excellent turns. So yes, very good game for EJ.
And he's always been, you kind of typecast him into the mobile type of striker that's going to run off of a guy like Dempster, that's going to put himself in good positions, draw defenders, create spaces. But what I've been really impressed by tonight with EJ is not just the way he's done what he does, but the way he's been able to handle himself in the physical battle as well. He has not given up on the ball. He has been feisty. He's been relentless. He's been he's been a force out there, which is really, really encouraging to see. And that's a side of his game that I want to keep seeing.
Absolutely.
And this will be a corner kick for SLUH, a late corner. Over here to take it is number 16, Billy Hughes. We have 9 minutes and 13 seconds to go. And Hughes with the right foot. It's a lofted one to the backside, headed up off the wrong side of the head there by Cameron Verzino. It will be out for a SLUH throw. Haven't seen a throw in this area. Not sure if we have to worry about a long throw threat or if it's going to be the traditional variety. And we get a substitution here for SLUH. Don't have time to look down at the roster because I don't want to miss anything at this point in the game. This one is cleared out. This is Hughes. Kraus, Joey Kraus. Dribbling in. Played back in by SLUH. Mike Camp's got to claim this, and he does. Has to catch that. Absolutely has to catch that ball. Ball's coming straight down on him. A punch does no good. He absolutely has to catch it under duress, and he does. Wonderful catch by Mike Camp.
Very well done by Mike Camp.
There is no other option there, and that's a scary moment for a goalkeeper because there is no safety option. 8 minutes to go now. Dempster on the turn finds Jack Edwards to the back post. Ooh, good idea there. You can see what he was looking for, Tyler McAllister. And now Verhulst looking to unleash a shot. That gets blocked, though. Couldn't tell. Might have actually hit McAllister. Edwards into the middle. Leach. The intensity is certainly ratcheting up as we go to 7 minutes and 45 seconds left in this one. CBC up by a goal. Looking to add a little bit of insurance. Again, could very easily have been 2-0 had a ball not bounced up a little bit unluckily on Sam Leach's ankle on an open net. Should be 2-0, to be honest with you, and especially when you take into account some of the saves that Alec Meissner has had to make tonight.
And then you throw in E.J. Verhulst hitting the post on that wonderful ball, too.
Absolutely. And here's a throw-in from Deweese, but we're going to get a stoppage here. Oh, they're just telling him to move up a little bit. He won't mind that instruction, and I think now we're going to get a stoppage for a substitution. Nope, they're going to tell him to move up more.
Yeah,
usually it's the other way around.
The throw from SLUH never came in bounds, so what that does then is the ruling on that now is we get possession of the ball where they threw it in at. So that's why they were letting Nolan Deweese come all the way up the field.
Usually they're telling him to back up.
Exactly.
Yeah, so move up, son. Don't mind if I do. All right, this one is Ryan Gerdison's going to let it go out, and now we're going to get a substitution. Starzik will make way
for Elijah.
Yep. And Elijah Johnson also goes by Eli, coming back on. And he's going to play wide right. And I have a feeling I know what the game plan is for him out wide right. I think it is start out in wide positions and just wreck your way into the box.
Absolutely.
And here's Leach, dancing with the ball as usual. Dempster turns it in. He's going to play it out wide to his left to McAllister. Tyler McAllister plays it in. Headed clear initially, helped on by number 4. That was Pietro Nicastro. And now Eli Johnson. Back to Brendan Hennessy. Edwards. Good turn by Jack Edwards. He cuts inside on his left foot. He's going to keep dancing with it. Finds Verhulst. Verhulst can't get the right-footed shot off. And that is going to end up a SLUH ball. Kurt Schumacher's had a wonderful game defensively, trying to get something started offensively, but that's sniffed out by Gerdison. 5 minutes and 18 seconds to go. By the pace at which I'm speaking, it almost feels like the last minute of a game, but we've got 5 more of this. This is wonderful. Here's McAllister, skips past 1. He's got Verhulst up top of the box. He's got Dempster, 2, cuts it back. Dempster with the left. There it is.
There it is.
There it is.
That's a great run. Great run by Tyler McAllister, and a great finish by Dempster.
And it starts with Gerdison doing a nice job reading the right back. That was Kurt Schumacher made the run, which tells you that there's going to be space on the right-hand side. Gerdison not only has the awareness to cut out the pass, but also to play it back along that flank. Tyler McAllister heads up, realizes he's going to have some room to run because the right back is up, and he takes him to task. He makes the run, and, of course, you can't leave Nick Dempster and E.J. Verhulst, who's right next to him, unmarked at the top of the 18 because that is going to be a goal every day of the week.
Yep, and that's the way we draw it up in practice. We say, Coach Meckler tells us all the time, dribble, win the inline, but if you win the inline, keep going to the near post. Go to the near post and then lay it off to someone, making a run by the 6 or by the 18.
And good save from Camp. That ball was hit very, very nicely from, it looked like number 2 out there, Donovan Ditto. Of course, the only one on the team maybe hoping that McAllister had played it to Verhulst instead of Dempster is Sam Leach, because Leach is now tied for leading scorer as opposed to solo leading scorer. The 2 goals from Dempster tonight put him level with Leach at 6. Not that anybody's keeping track, of course.
No, of course not.
So 4 minutes and 17 seconds to go in this one, and CBC leading by a score of 2-0. Still far from locked up, though. With the way the MCC goes in this sport of soccer, anything can happen. That one's going to be out for a goal kick. Which gives us a second. We've been too excited about the game, and we've neglected to mention some of our sponsors, and we certainly want to get them in. We are excited to welcome a new sponsor to the CSN family. That is TJ's Pizza and Fundraising. Our Cadet Kickoff sponsor is now available by the slice in our concession stands. We can't wait for you to give it a try. TJ's is also the best fundraising option around, offering a simple process that helps your school, team, or organization raise money by selling delicious pizzas and desserts. They've got pizza, they've got fundraising, they've got desserts. What don't they have? Call TJ's at 314-869-9404 for more information, or check them out at tjspizza.com. Thank you, TJ's. And this one's bouncing around. Sam Leach finds Verhulst, who's doing a wonderful job of tracking back into the midfield. Of course, with 3 minutes to go in the booth, we also got to be starting to think about the man of the match. A few contenders out there.
Definitely a few contenders. I'm sure it's going to be hard to beat a 2-goal scorer, though.
It is. It is. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Exactly.
I think you're supposed to say spoiler alert before.
Oh, is that how that works?
I think so.
Oh.
I don't know.
I knew that before the Star Wars movie.
That is true. Everybody learns the meaning then. And this one's played over the top, and E.J. Verhulst wrongfully called offside. I don't think the officials saw, trying to get a number on who it was over there on that right flank for SLUH, was playing E.J. onside. At least, I don't think that's bias speaking. I think that's sure looked like he was on. And it was the right back of SLUH over there who I believe was holding him on. But it doesn't matter once the whistle goes.
Exactly.
And Mike Camp's going to give this a ride. And we've reached the 2-minute mark. So 2 minutes to go. CBC 2 goals to the good.
So with 2 minutes to go, I want to make sure I give a shout out. Class of 1991, we have our reunion coming up. 25-year reunion is going to be on October 14th. Check the websites and check the Facebook for information on that. Going to be on Friday the 14th, and then also some golf and things like that on that Saturday.
That sounds like a good weekend.
Sounds like a good weekend.
And congratulations on 25 years.
Went by quick, I know that much.
It's funny how that works. I love talking to seniors around the beginning of the year because they always tell you, we thought you were joking when you said it goes fast. You know, they start as freshmen, and then before you know it, they're seniors. And, you know, when a teenage kid looks at you and said, man, it goes fast, you know it does.
You know you were actually telling the truth.
And that one sails wide. As we go under a minute here, I think if you have to say what the difference in this game was going to be, I got to think that all of it comes down right now and in this game to the determination of CBC. I think they showed the resolve not only to, you know, kind of stick with their game plan when they weren't generating chances, when it wasn't quite going their way. They stuck with the game plan. And here we have Donovan Ditto, and that is saved nicely by Mike Camp. But CBC stuck with the game plan, and then when the chances arose, with one exception, they were able to take advantage. They did not give up. They kept pushing, and their intensity ultimately was too much for SLUH. So I got to say the word of the game, if we give a word of the game award, it has to be determination for CBC.
I would definitely agree with you on that. Wonderful job by the boys today. Great game, great effort. Way to come back and avenge that loss that they had on Saturday.
And that is the buzzer. So that is going to do it for us here on CSN. But, of course, before we go, we might as well make official what has been assumed for quite a while now, that the CSN Man of the Match, Player of the Game, MVP, whatever you want to call it, award, goes to Nick Dempster. It absolutely has to.
Absolutely. He not only did he finish those two chances, but he also did a wonderful job keeping possession of the ball and helping us as a team move up the field.
So that is going to do it. A good win for CBC. They take the season series over SLUH 2-1. Of course, winning in the CBC tournament, losing in the CYC tournament, but coming out on top tonight. So we want to thank you for joining us. Again, Bill, I want to thank you for joining us in the booth. It was a lot of fun having you up here.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being up here.
We want to thank Mr. Randy Gardner, our producer and moderator. We also want to thank Charlie Hines, CBC Junior, working up on the camera tonight. So I want to thank you especially for joining us. For Randy Gardner, for Charlie Hines, for Bill Baumhoff, for all of us here at CSN, I'm Tom Eichwald. I want to thank you for joining us, and we will see you another night.